Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Sean from Keto2.me, and honestly, for me, a big part of the fall is chicken soup, chicken pot pie, different sorts of stews, different types of broth, different sorts of pie, and in reality, I was really craving a nice, warm chicken pot pie. Now, of course, I could have went down the fathead dough route, but I decided to try something a little bit different and make what was like a boxed dinner that I used to have as a kid that was essentially a chicken pot pie covered with biscuits. So I did my own version of that meal. Now, this does require a special ingredient in Carb, and unfortunately, it's one of the few ingredients that I make here on Keto2.me that are not gluten-free. You could easily swap out the Carb biscuits for any other keto biscuit recipe and probably have the same success, but I've had great luck with Carb and I think it tastes amazing. So stick around, here we go. Now, for this chicken pot pie recipe, I just took the leftover chicken meat from about 6 chicken thighs. I mean, full disclosure, this isn't leftover. I made it specifically for this recipe, but it does work really, really well with leftover meat. So we have about 6 chicken thighs in this pan. This is a 9 by 13 inch pan, oven safe, ready to roll. And so to that, I'm gonna add the following vegetables. I have about 2 carrots, a bag of small radishes, we're talking maybe a cup or 2, half of a yellow onion, and 2 sticks of celery. So I'm just gonna spread that out evenly among the chicken. Do the best you can. Not really gonna be that big of a deal. Just some nice chicken pot pie flavors going on here. Now these radishes, if you haven't had them yet, excellent replacement for potatoes on a low carb diet. Add a little bit of pepperiness, so remember that when you're doing your seasoning, but fantastic replacement for that starchy potato. And now to that, we're gonna go ahead and add 1 can of turkey gravy. You can make your own. I'm just using this for simplicity's sake. This is supposed to be a nice evening meal, real quick to bring out. Makes a lot. Dump that right on top. Find one with as low of carb count as you can. A lot of them use flour for the roux, but you can find them pretty low. Now, I'm not gonna waste everything that's left in that can. I'm gonna take some chicken stock, rinse this out, and dump it on top. All right, and to this mixture, I'm gonna add mushrooms. I really like mushrooms. If you don't like them, you can leave them out. I'm gonna add 2 cans pre-cut. Of course, you can cut your own. And so now, of course, we need a topping for this, so I'll be right back and we'll show you how to make some nice Carb biscuits. They're great, really easy to make, and we'll make a great topping for this chicken pot pie. And so for the top of our chicken pot pie, we're gonna use Carb biscuits, going for the cheddar biscuit recipe right off the box, but I'm gonna show you how I do it. So we have 2 cups of Carb pre-measured into this bowl. Normally I would advise that you sift any powder in a keto recipe, but in this case there are bits that you would be unsiftable but are required in Carb. To that I'm gonna add 2 ounces of cold butter, very similar to any other biscuit recipe you might find. Essentially, I'm gonna just take my hands, you could use a biscuit cutter, you could use knives, you can use whatever you want. I'm just gonna really mash this into the dough. So essentially, once you have nice uniform pieces of butter cut into your dough, we'll add the rest of our ingredients. You see there, you got pieces of butter, pieces of Carb. It's coming together quite nicely. Now from here, the world's your oyster. Honestly, I like to add jalapenos to this. You can add spices. Because we're using it for a crust, I'm gonna keep it pretty light. I'm just gonna add to it a pinch of salt, a half cup of grated cheese. This is just a taco mix. You can use mozzarella, you can use cheddar, you can use whatever you want. And a half cup of almond milk. The box calls for a 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 cup of heavy cream. I don't have any heavy cream. Now, unlike most things in keto, this does have gluten in it. So you don't wanna overmix, because what might happen here is you'll get over gluten development, kind of like overmixing bread or overkneading bread. So just kind of keep it pretty light. Just make sure it's combined. Just like that, perfect. And so we have our chicken pot pie filling from earlier. Now we're gonna drop big balls of that biscuit dough right on top, so that way we get a nice crust. I'm just eyeballing these by hand. Honestly, as long as they're around the same size, they should cook at the same speed. And so now that the biscuits are all done, we're gonna go ahead and stick this in a 450-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until these are golden brown and cooked all the way through. Everything else is cooked, so really all we're aiming to do is cook the biscuits. I'll see you then. So put this in the oven at 450 for about 10 minutes. As you can see, the biscuits have baked through. If I were to do it again, maybe do a little more biscuit, but right now, good sized portions. Yeah, time to eat. Wow, that really hit all the right notes. The flavor, the warmth, just the different spices, it just really made it taste like fall. The house smelled incredible. It was a great use of leftover chicken thighs. Now there is one note. Personally, I like my vegetables to be a little undercooked because I like that crunch and the change in texture. You can definitely make those a lot softer and a lot more pliable by cooking them first. You could either steam them, roast them, however you want, and that would probably add a lot of flavor to this stew or to this pie as well. That said, I kept mine raw when they went to the oven so that way it'd have that crisp, that texture. But that's not required. You can easily make it more like a standard pot pie. If you haven't tried radishes and stews and pies, I highly recommend them because they do taste like potatoes, especially if you peel them. I didn't because these are so small. So you have a couple of different options here. I hope this helps make your fall as great as mine. Do you have your favorite fall recipes? I'd love to hear about them. Send them over to me at keto2.me, and until next time, take care. Hey, and that's another one for the books. If you like this content, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. That way you get updates as soon as I post them. You can hit that thumbs up button if you like it, and that way I know I'm making videos that you find enjoyable. Also, if you're looking for new ideas constantly released when I release them, hit the bell. That way you'll get notified for new updates and new videos. Also, if you're looking for some of the best prices on keto products, check out the store at keto2.me. I'd really appreciate it. It helps support me and it helps support this channel. So if you like what you see, I'd love for you to visit the store. Until next time, I hope your keto baking's going great. Enjoy.